Hola Colchoneros, this is me, Alex. Welcome to Atleti Fanatics, and I have, as usual, Saint Keeks with me. Saint Keeks, we finally had our first game of, let's say, the upcoming season against Porto, which was, I think, everyone was really excited for because we wanted to see our new signings, how they're gonna perform, and we did see a lot of things yesterday. And for me, like I would say there were less good things I can take from those games. There's a lot of negative things I can take from that game. But I mean, like it was really good to see Atletico playing again. It's good to see suffering as always, even though it was a friendly. Uh, anyway, the game again, like we started again, it was a tribute to Diego Jota, which again was I think was a really good thing, and it suddenly like clicked with me like yesterday only, like when I was watching the match, and like even like when all the legends with Paulo Futre and Radamel Falcao, like Porto and Atleti, like we have a lot of players in common. Like you can just go on, like check the history. Like we have tons of players who have played for both the clubs. I mean, like Porto should be like our, let's say, like a friendly club in Portugal, I would say, because like wow, like the players. I mean, like I just saw a selfie yesterday of Felipe. Felipe was at the stadium as well, and then you see all the players which used to play for Porto and Atletico de Madrid. Like the number is huge, huge,
Yeah, yeah.
and which was anyway, it was really nice to see that tribute to Diego Jota. But anyway, uh, to the game, the first half. Let's just start with the starting lineup. So, were you surprised by the starting lineup, or like you expected that lineup?
In terms of the 4-4-2, no. But in terms of the players who started for the game, yes. Obviously, Barrios' last minute injury kind of changed up how we were going to play things, um, as well as Jimenez injury. So I know Hancko also only came like a few days ago. So I kind of expected what we were going to get in terms of the back line. A little surprised with the midfield with the Koke Gallagher, but everything else, the Baena starting, Giuliano, Llorente, Ruggeri, everything else seemed like, yeah, that makes sense from what we've talked about before, what we were seeing in the training lineups and other things. So not too many
Exactly. I mean,
surprises.
like yeah, exactly. Like we were seeing this lineup in that training lineup as well. And
Hmm.
but anyway, I just want to say like the first 10 minutes, it was very sluggish. Then again, the game was like I don't know, like no team were really actually like going for it. But I would say like I've seen a few things, and I mean, like obviously the first thing is like the fitness of the players. I think like the fitness is still not up to the level, and like the season starts within the 2 weeks. So I hope like like the fitness level improve in these 2 weeks. And anyway, let's just start with the game. So like the game started, it was I think. I would say I was really impressed with Sorloth actually with the first 10 minutes, like the because like we all know Sorloth, like with that hold up play, he was doing pretty well yesterday with the hold up play. Like he got his basics right, which I was really good. Like I was really happy to see that. But the second thing I want to say is Gallagher playing that deposit. What do you call it? The position.
Hmm.
Gallagher playing in that Depol position again, he wasn't working very well in that position. I don't know. But I mean,
No.
again, yeah, maybe it's just the first game. You can say like like everything is just they are starting to like like gel up. You know, uh, Getting back to fitness and all of these things you can say. But Depol, if you're telling me like Gallagher can fill the shoes of Depol right now, as of yesterday, I don't think that's the situation. Gallagher definitely can't do that. And I mean, like we talked about this, like right, like Depol, like like most of you guys must be happy about Depol leaving Atletico de Madrid, but again, like those are massive shoes to fill because Depol is the kind of a guy like who was a creative playmaker for our team. He was the guy who used to take the ball, he used to carry the ball to the final third. We don't have that midfielder right now. We only have Paulo Barrios.
Hmm.
If Paulo Barrios goes injured, exactly the things would happen yesterday. There's no midfielder which can do that. and Atleti will struggle. So this is something I think this should be an eye opener for the board as well. Without Pablo Barrios, you don't really have a guy in the midfield who can actually take the ball to the final third. I mean, this is really concerning. I would say this is something really concerning. We have to buy someone. We have to buy a good midfielder, be it Javi Guerra, be it someone else. I mean, the scouting reports and everyone has to work together on this one. But anyway, so the match started, and then again Julian Alvarez again he was doing pretty well. I was seeing Álex Baena. Álex Baena was dropping in midfield. That was leaving Matteo Ruggeri alone on the left hand side. Again, this is something I don't know what the plan is because again, Baena was dropping in midfield to link up with Alvarez and Sorloth, and Baena was actually like trying to be that guy who can like carry the ball into the final third. But in that process, by being that creative playmaker in midfield, we were leaving Matteo Ruggeri alone on that left hand side, and which I don't know, like maybe like Simeone has to like see something about this to be honest, because the 4-4-2, how do we want to play it? Like if Baena doesn't stay on the left hand side, he comes inside, then again the left hand flank remains empty, and then the right hand flank it's really like filled up. We have Gallagher, we get Giuliano, then we have Lorente as well. Right hand flank, I think is pretty sorted. It's the left hand flank which we really have to sort it out. And again, the we could see yesterday as well the left hand flank wasn't really working as well. But anyway, and then I think the game was pretty, I would say, end to end. In the first half, Oblak with a couple of great saves in the first half. I think would have been at least 2 goals if it wasn't for Oblak. I would say again we are still leaky in the defense. Again, we need a centre back as well. With Lenormand was I think was decent. Longley, I can't really blame him much to be honest. For the goal, I would definitely blame Matteo Ruggeri for that goal because I think that's way too easy. He got beaten way too easy on that right hand side, and then eventually he couldn't just like catch up with the player, and then the it was Froholdt. I forgot his name. What was his name? The Porto player. Froholdt. What is his name?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure off the top of my head. I know Borja
was-
Sainz was also given some problems for our right hand side. But I
Yeah,
can't-
it's Froholdt. Yeah, Froholdt.
Right.
Yeah, Froholdt. And again, I would say that was a mistake from Matteo Ruggeri much more than I see people blaming Longley for that goal. I don't think Longley could have done much for that goal. It was Matteo Ruggeri.
I don't agree. I think that was
I
a
mean,
long.
no. Look again. You can't scapegoat Longley every time, bro. Like, okay, fine.
No, obviously not. But it's like when if I could show a still of the image, where it's like when you see where it was, right? So it's like their front line is Borja Sainz on one side, Samu, and then who was it on the right on their right hand side? Can't remember, but there are three. They function with a sort of a three prong attack, and then they have to come in.
Pepe.
Pepe. Thank you. So Ruggeri is trying to cover for Pepe, right, on the left hand side. Longley came further inwards towards Lenormand, but it didn't make sense. Which didn't make sense when you're looking at it because like Samu is to the right of Llorente. If Samu is to the right of Llorente, what are you going more centrally for? You need to maintain the shape. There's a certain amount of width between certain players that you have so that they can't just exploit space. When you see the space difference between Ruggeri and Longley, you have a problem, which is now Ruggeri is isolated. As you just mentioned, right? Ruggeri is by himself on the left-hand side. You just mentioned that, yeah? The whole issue isn't so much that Ruggeri is isolated by himself, is that there's no cover if something goes wrong with Ruggeri. Because if something, let's say Ruggeri gets beaten, which is normal for a fullback. A fullback is not supposed to get cover every single thing. Do you trust Longley to cover your space that is now left open after Ruggeri is beaten? The answer is it a yes or no? And the answer is almost always no, as we saw yesterday, which is, if we could get us still, I would show you what I'm talking about, but
I can't. But yeah, I mean, I can't blame him like completely for that goal. Like, fine, like if you wanna say like 30% of mistake, you're fine. Like he was late by covering up. Like he didn't reach on time. Like he should have covered for Matteo Ruggeri. But again, I mean, it's football. Like things happen so fast. Like Ruggeri got beaten. There was Baena and there was one more midfielder. I think okay. The ball just went. The ball just went between them, and then Longley was just like late before he could reach, and then again it was a goal already. But again, at the starting, you should see like where it started. It was Matteo Ruggeri. He got beaten way too easily. And I don't blame Matteo Ruggeri over here. I think this was his first game. He lacks fitness. I could see he lacks fitness. I mean, I could see his heavy legs when he was trying to tackle Samu Morodion on that right hand side. You could literally see his heavy legs. He just couldn't put his like like he literally stumbled on the ground and like he fell when he was trying to tackle Samu Morodion. So I could see his heavy legs. So he is not fit at all at the moment. But Ruggeri, I would say I saw a few things which I was really happy about, which was again aerially he was really good, and then again there was I didn't see much crossing from Ruggeri on the left hand side. I just saw one cross which was to Álex Baena, which was supposedly only shot on target as well. But again, I expected much from Ruggeri, but again I can't blame him. He's getting back to fitness. But anyway, moving back to the midfield, again, Gallagher, I don't think like he can be the guy who can replace De Paul. We need a midfielder, that's for sure. And then Llorente, I would say Llorente in the first half didn't really look good to me. I think I don't know with some passes in the final third, and then while defensively as well, he got bitten quite a few times, pretty good. And then again, the same. We're gonna go back to the same thing. In the first half, we were just lacking creativity, and we were expecting Álex Baena or Julian Alvarez to create something, or maybe Giuliano to like maybe just a run against the left back and create something on the right hand side. I mean, we were literally lacking creativity in the first half. Julian Alvarez shot from literally 30 yards that hit the goal post. Álex Baena with that Ruggeri cross, the only shot on target. I mean, I didn't see anything else from Atleti in the first half. Meanwhile, Porto was actually like the players were like running the midfield. They were literally our midfield was getting run over by those 19, 20 years old. To be honest, I mean, this is really concerning. Without Pablo Barrios, we don't have anyone in midfield, and like now you see like how crucial it gets. But anyway, we move on to the next one, which is I don't think 4-4-2 was working without Pablo Barrios. If you need 4-4-2 to work, you need Pablo Barrios in that system. And like I did see the intention of pressing up front, but again, that pressing again, with Koke you can't do it. And I can't blame Koke as well. Like like he's getting old, like his legs are not the same as it used to be. So if you want to go with 4-4-2, you need Pablo Barrios. If you don't have Pablo Barrios, you can't go with 4-4-2. You will struggle. But
I think you could probably put Koke in Barris's role. I mean, put Cardoso alongside of it. But again, I think you're right in the sense of like right now, in terms of the legs, in terms of the capability, which is kind of lacking a lot in the midfield. I think we kind of felt the same way last season, where it's like last season we went into the summer window having a surplus of midfielders and then ending the summer window with a negative of midfielders, where Lamar basically didn't play any of the last season, and then what do you call it? It was just,
Lemar would have done a much better job than Gallagher yesterday, because
probably.
he's the guy. He's the guy who can. He's the guy who can actually take the ball to the final third, and we don't really have that midfielder right now, except Pablo Barrios. That's it. And then
Right.
if you look at the signings we've made, and we're still struggling to fill that role in that midfield. I mean,
The
the board has
problem
to
is
do something.
we have a lot of players. I don't know how many of them are 100% like, yeah, this was the signing we needed to make. Like, okay, so we came into the summer window needing a left back, we needed a DM, we needed an attacking midfielder, we needed at least two centre backs, probably a striker, right? Like that's the six things we need for sure. we have gotten one centre back, we got a DM, we got an attacking midfielder, and we got a left back. Those a fair portion of that list is done, and I think we'll come back to that to the other players that I just mentioned before. But I'm happy with Baena. I think Baena had a good showing. I'm happy with Ruggeri. This is preseason, so I'm not going to be too harsh on anybody. Um, in terms of we didn't get to see Hancko in the first half. We saw him in the second half, and we'll talk about Hancko and Cardoso in the second half when we talk about them. But from the first half of what we got to see of the new signings, I was very happy. I thought it was an improvement on what we had last season in terms of the left-hand flank. Ruggeri holding the width, Baena coming inside. That's fine. I think it what I thought in theory looked fine in practice. It probably is, again, as you said, not 100% match fit. So we'll see as the other preseason games come on. Maybe it will come to more fruition with time. But I don't know why. Like, what was the reports? The reports were saying that Gallagher could fix the Paul. Like, I don't know why they would say that, because we've played Koke Gallagher last season against Elche in the Copa del Rey. Really good game, fantastic game. Both of them played fantastic. Played those two, I think, in a Champions League game. Not 100% sure, and maybe one or two league games, right? So like it barely happened. When it happened, it was almost always against a team that was not on our level, like very visibly worse team than us. No offense to Elche, but they were in Segunda at the time, and even though they were playing well, it very clearly showed we were the better team, and it didn't need as much expenditure because Gallagher could cover enough ground, and Koke was such a good passer that you didn't really need to struggle too much against the weak opposition, and you could do these things. Which I think this isn't a failed combination because it will probably work in the Copa del Rey, but it clearly shows against proper opposition like Porto, who's a Champions League level team, this is not good enough. Anything I think probably like above top 10 in La Liga, you can't use Koke Gallagher together. I think that's what we learned today.
Indeed.
There's a different position. We'll see. Maybe Gallagher gets sold. I don't know. Because with his, he doesn't have his Irish passport, at least yet. I think it's still in process or something like that. So he takes up a non-EU spot. So I would have liked him to stay, but him not having an Irish passport kind of complicates the rest of our transfer season. And we've already sacrificed Lino for, the vibe. So let's see how that goes. I don't know how it's gonna happen. But I've been ranting. Let's talk about the next part, which is
I don't see Gallagher leaving. Actually, I don't see Gallagher leaving.
I don't see
I don't
it.
see.
Yeah,
I don't see it. No, because again, Gallagher. Like if Gallagher would have to leave, he would have left already. Because again, that's a good 40-45 million amount just lying there over there.
Mhm.
Any Premier League club would take Gallagher in a flash. With we saw Tottenham was interested as well. But anyway, we move on to the second half. Second half there was a change of formation. We went from 4-4-2 to 3-5-2, or I mean whatever way you want to put it, 5-3-2, 3-5-2. I mean, look at the defense. Literally, you have Mark Pubill, you have Nahuel Molina, you have David Hancko, and then you have left wing back Javi Galan, which I think had a decent game, and then you have the right wing back Carlos Martin. Dude, Carlos Martin literally frustrated me. Like I was literally like, just send him on loan or like sell him. And like I don't see him succeeding at Atletico Madrid. The guy is almost what 23, 22 now. How old is he?
just in 23. I liked what he showed for me personally, but go off. I want to hear your opinion on what you think.
I like Yano much better than Carlos Martin. Yano when he came as a substitution for Raine. I mean, I see that guy. The guy is very young, and I could see like his desire. Yano and like almost through pass, almost fell to Griezmann. His all through pass. Yano he came in the second half. I was really happy to see him, by the way. But yeah, in the second half, I was really excited to see the academy players, Carlos Martin. I wanted to see, like him, and I was convinced, like, yeah, this guy is not staying at Atletico Madrid for sure. Tawfiq Saidu, he had his moments, he had his really bad touches as well, but he had his moments as well. Again, I would say I, I did see some good potential in Tawfiq Saidu as well. He was very physical, which again I think like he improves his game. Maybe he was nervous yesterday, which is normal. Like that can happen. Like you can have those loose touches. Maybe he was nervous, but I could see that potential if he gets that confidence. Tawfiq Saidu can be a future player for sure, easily. And then Ryan, I didn't see much Ryan in the second half. Obviously, I mean the guy is not playing in his position. The guy is playing almost playing as the second striker. And then who else came from the academy? Yeah, and just these three guys. And then Yano. Yano really impressed me, to be honest. I was really happy with Yano. Anyway, moving to the second half, I would say Cardoso was the standout player for me. Like that's the debut, honestly. Like Cardoso, like he is such a ball winner. Like we could see some of his moments, like in the second half. Like Cardoso, like I was really happy. For me, the only good thing about the yesterday's match was Johnny Cardoso, seeing him play, winning those balls. That guy, I'm telling you, like when he'll get fit, that guy will definitely start all our games for sure, for sure. Him and Pablo Barrios and like together, I'm all for it. Like I really want to see it. I hope Pablo Barrios, like remains fit. Anyway, again, we talked about this as well. Mark Pubill. Mark Pubill, we said like Atleti might try him for a centre back because again he's tall, he's fast, and that's exactly what I think Atletico Madrid is trying to do, trying to convert him into a centre back, which I think is really early for him. It's very early for Marco Pil to play as a centre back. I mean, like Sam Omrodion literally like owned him in that corner where he almost scored that second goal. So again, he has a lot to learn, and it's very early for him to play as a centre back, Marco Pil. Next, I want to say is the guy who really impressed me was Thiago Almada. I think Thiago Almada played really well in that second half. Like he was trying to find those pockets, he was trying to find those passes, he was trying to go into that final third. I could see the intention. Thiago Almada, I was happy with Thiago Almada as well. He was trying to do something. And then David Hancko, I mean, I don't know what to say, to be honest. Like I have mixed thing about this one. Like he just came on and he almost hands the ball in the penalty box, and then I mean there was a few moments where he actually covered really well. Where I don't see Longley covering those positions, where Haskell actually covered those positions, and then and then there was a moment as well where Haskell was struggling. He cleared the like I don't know he was passing or was clearing, and he literally hit the ball out of the ground. Again, I would say it's the fitness issues for sure. David Haskell, I would say didn't really have that good of a debut in my opinion. It was like in the middle, I would say. But again, I would say he's not 100% fit as well. So yeah, I can't really like obviously like we're not really judging any player from this. It's preseason, everything is everyone is getting back into fitness. Next, I want to say is in the second half, like
You're being rather harsh on this preseason, but oh,
yeah, no, I'm just saying, I'm just saying, like like as they're all getting back to fitness. It's way too early to judge. But yeah, anyway, I want to say is again, I think this is another position where Atleti should actually invest, which is a new striker. Because after Sorloth and Alvarez went off, I didn't see anyone up front except Griezmann, obviously. And Griezmann was for me the same as he was around April, May. He was literally playing the same game. We definitely need a striker to come in the second half because again, you can't expect Thiago Almada or anyone else to play in that position. We do need a striker in that position. That's something you have to look for because in the second half, if you need goals, where would you get those goals from? If Sorloth goes to bench, if Sorloth gets injured, let's say, we don't really have anyone as a striker. So that's also one position where we actually have to invest. I mean, go for anyone. Look for the market. Maybe go and try Brazilian league. Maybe try Yuri Alberto from Corinthians, which we were actually linked with earlier. So we definitely need a striker. Let's see who Atleti goes for. Maybe go for a loan option as well. Let's see. Next, Molina. I don't know what to say about Molina, to be honest.
I would
He was
I want to hear what your thoughts are because I have some choice words for them.
Molina, I would say, so like he tried his best to give the goal to Porto. He tried his best with those passes, but yeah, he didn't succeed. And then I don't know, like fine, like like if you're looking for a backer for Marcus Llorente, fine. But then you have Marco Pubill as well. Then why would you go for Marco Pubill? You know, it doesn't make sense. Like if you need to make money, I think Nahuel Molina is the guy you should sell. But you decide to keep it, which doesn't make sense to me at all. I mean, like if you're looking to convert Mark Pubill into a centre back, I mean, like you can do it while like he can play as a right back as well. So like you can do it in training sessions as well. I don't see Molina's plays in this team, to be honest. Like unless and until like let's say Marcos Llorente gets injured or something, then we might need Molina. Other than that, I don't see Nahuel Molina in a position right now with Atleti at all because I don't because the guy has dropped literally again. It's just the first game. We're too early to judge. Yeah, I'm gonna take it back. It's too early to judge. Second thing I wanna say is we do need at least three signings. At least three signings. A centre back for sure who can improve our defense because our defense is still leaky. I would say the second thing is a midfielder who can carry the ball into the final third, and the third position I would say we need a striker. We definitely need a striker up front. I mean, the fourth option is up to Atleti. I don't see it happening. Like Atleti is looking for a dribbler with again. I will talk about Enzo Milo later on, but yeah. Anyway, your thoughts on the second half, Keeks?
Mm, I think it was better on the eyes in terms of the midfield. Um, I was not Almada. I'm a little confused with Almada because I think he was okay, but he was very stable. If that's the correct way I could say it, he didn't really risk anything. He was decent with carrying the ball. He was okay with passing, but I felt like he kind of held the ball a little too long, a little bit of a ball hog. Where if he just released the pass a little bit earlier, if he just because he sees the play. Like I'm seeing how where he's looking, and he sees the plays, but he always takes too long, and either he gave away the ball unnecessarily, or the play is no longer in place because of the fact that he took too long. I think that's all I can say about Almada. I don't think he really wowed or disappointed me in any shape or form. It was an okay performance. Cardoso was good, but I think we need to implement an understanding of the pressing system with him because I think there were some moments where I was hoping to see more, and I think he was a little bit nervy. Him and Hancko were a bit didn't quite have the confidence that I saw them having last season, for instance, which is fine. It's the first preseason. This is the first time they got to be in front of Atletico fans playing properly. But he was a better dribbler than a passer. He was really good at dribbling yesterday, and he was a decent passer. So that's more of a compliment than a negative. So, and then I like Taufik. I quite like what he did in terms of the stuff. I think you're right in the sense that he is a little raw. Didn't quite always have the perfect pass. He kind of unlike Almada, I think he let go of the ball a little too soon. Where if he just took a little more time, because you could see he could spin a player, he could run past certain players. He's very capable of pressing people. We saw when I think it was against the corner flag where he fought and got back the ball, tried to play in something to into the middle. So like he's very very capable. It's just a matter of I think a literal matter of experience and get another more game time, giving him to get to that next level. And so I'm happy with what his performance was. I think it was really good, especially because he never. I don't think he played with Cardoso and Almada in the midfield before. So this is for all three of them, even though they never really played together. I assume, from the reports, but did really well together. Pubill had a nice performance, but I don't think that's what we were trying to sign him for. he is a right.
I mean, I see him. I see him turning the center back in future for sure. But like right now, it's way too early. Like the guy is like it's way too early for him.
especially because I think if he is to be a centre back, him being a right centre back would make more sense, where he could actually show some of his traits, with being able to drive, being able to dribble, being able to pass well. We saw some moments where he did Travellas back to Musso, which was kind of nice, I guess. Unnecessary, but it was kind of nice. So you see the capabilities of what he can do, and some small qualities, but we didn't get to see much of him, obviously. And again, I don't know how much of a criticism or analysis we can have when he's playing centre back, and like all of last season he's basically playing as a right back. So
I can literally tell you the back line for our first game against. Are we playing Espanyol or Elche? I forgot. Elche, we're playing Espanyol, right? Yeah, we're playing Elche at home. Okay, I can literally tell you the back line right now. It'll be Lorente, it'll be Lenormand, it'll be Longley, and it'll be Javi Galan. Write this right now. I see this back line for sure.
I don't see Galan. Speaking of Galan, I think Galan had some good movements off the ball moving forward, but he was very, very negligent when it came to going backwards. But that's kind of been the main theme of him anytime we played a back five with Galan. So there's nothing new to say. He wasn't particularly impactful, and every time that he crossed the ball, I kept on thinking to myself, why are you crossing that ball so high, knowing full well that there's a 5'9" Ryan Belaid in there and Antoine Griezmann, who's also 5'9".
He's doing his job. I mean, like, what do you expect him to do on that position? Like, give the pass back,
across the floor, or pass it back. One of the two. You can't. If you do the worst option every time and say I had no other choice, then you just. Hopefully, the coach has no other choice but not to play, because there is other choices. There were other options.
He will play that first game. Mark my words. He will play that first game. I don't see Ruggeri playing the first game.
See. We'll come back to this.
Anyway, because I think Ruggeri is definitely not getting fit in these 2 weeks until the first game rhymes.
Molina, I really not. I'm not sure what the plan is with Molina, because I can't see why he's staying in earnest. I think I said this before. At the start of the summer, I was saying to myself, probably not the wisest decision to sell Molina right now, because even though he is not necessarily the top in terms of a substitute, he's a very good substitute level. But we got Pubill, and he clearly has shown a very good level, even though he's a centre back. Molina at right centre back, I'm not sure what we're supposed to get out of him. He's not particularly defensively sturdy.
I mean, he can help the team for sure, like with those passes. I mean, that's for sure.
Molina, even at his very Sunday best in that season, the 22-23 season, after the World Cup, right? Passing was never his thing. Like short passing in the build-up, that was never his thing. He would never like to do it. He loves to run off the ball, make those plays, and be able to do these things, right? Like, none of his good traits are shown in a right centre back. And we saw it yesterday, where very bad passing, very questionable positioning off the ball, very bad dueling. Every time that Porto had a real chance against us in the second half, it was on and against Molina. Every time
I've noticed this one thing about Molina. I've noticed this one thing. Whenever there's like pressing from the opponent on the right hand side, let's say we have 3 players pressing.
Yep.
All of them together. Molina shakes up. He's literally like, I have to clear this ball. Like wherever it lands, he do something, he hits the ball like a rocket or do something. He'll just literally like gonna boot the ball away within the first touch, wherever it lands, and sometimes it lands with the opposition itself.
He'd shake under very little pressure, which is not something I particularly enjoy. But in terms of the other players, in terms of Yano Montserrat, I quite liked what he did, although it was very limited and he didn't have that many minutes. It was nice. Tried to drop inside, tried to play some things. Griezmann had moments where he looked really good, and the other times that he played, I was just like, wow, nothing's changed, huh? Okay. It's just like
just like we left. Just
where we left. I thought maybe that goal against any Club World Cup would have revitalized them a little bit, but not quite. Ryan was fine. I liked what he did, although, as we said before, he's supposed to be a midfielder. But it was kind of clear that Jane was supposed to play in the second half. And I think his injury kind of messed it up because he was going to play and then it didn't manifest because he got injured really last minute. So, but in terms of the tactics, I think the second half we got to see a better understanding of what do you call it, what we want to do. But in terms of like the actual impact, I think because of the fact that we were using basically two short players, and we didn't really try to make a match of fluidity. There wasn't an urgency. Nothing really came out of it, despite that. But interesting ideas, things I'm interested about, and I would like to see in the next games. I'll try and write on it and finish it up. And we'll probably, hopefully, I think when's our next game? Like on Wednesday. Today's Monday, as the time we're recording.
No, I think we play Newcastle on the weekend. We don't really have. We play Newcastle on the weekend, and then we play Rayo Vallecano after the Newcastle game, I guess.
Just after.
Yes, yeah, because again we have to travel to England for the Newcastle game, and then we'll be back in Spain, and then I think we'll play Rayo Vallecano, and then we'll start with our preseason. With our first match of the season against Espanyol, which is the last match day of the match day one. Interesting. By the time we play, Real Madrid is not playing, right? Like the first match day.
I don't know if that's confirmed or not yet. I'll have to get back to you on that. But so what do you think of what did you think of our centre backs?
Of what?
Our centre backs so far. You think we're good to go for this next season?
I mean, like if we want to start Longley and Lenormand, I mean Lenormand for me again was still decent. Longley, like he got beaten quite a couple of times. I mean, like Oblak saved one goal as well, which was Longley got beaten, like way too easily. So I mean that's why we signed David Hancko. But yeah, again, I'm not blaming Longley for that first goal for sure. But yes, I would have blamed Longley for sure if Oblak didn't save those goals. Then yeah, definitely. But anyway, I would say, I mean, like we signed David Hancko to start, obviously. So I think like if our centre back partnership it has to be David Hancko and Lenormand, and not even Lenormand, it has to be Jimenez and David Hancko. But Jimenez, we know, like he just can't get fit always, so he's always out injured. So it would be Lenormand and David Hancko. I see this as our main centre back partnership. That's why I'm saying we need a centre back. And I don't know, like if somehow Atleti can manage to get Cuti Romero would be a dream, to be honest. Like our defense would upgrade so much better if we get Cuti Romero for the right centre back position. But then again, you have a lot.
Who would you want to sign if we couldn't get Cuti Romero?
Definitely not. Yeah, definitely not a left-footed centre back now. Whether it's Renato Viega or anyone, we can't have a left-footed centre back now. We have to get a right-footed. Exactly, we have to get a right-footed centre back. But again, now the question is like, who do you sign for a right-footed centre back? And the market is like way too complicated at the moment, and like I have literally no idea who I can see fitting into Atletico Madrid playing as the right centre back. Okay, who do you go for?
Bournemouth just they got agreements with
that Ukrainian guy
for Loic Bade, right?
No, hang on. Are you talking?
No. They got an agreement, as in like the clubs agreed on a price, but Bade doesn't want to go to Bournemouth. He doesn't looking for other options, right? So I'm saying if he's looking for other options and he wants to go to a better team,
yeah, Atleti won't be able to hijack that deal. No, there's no Atleti hijacking that deal.
It was whatever. That's my other point. My point is, if it was a right centre back that is on the market that I think is a high quality player, assuming we can't get Cuti Romero, that would be.
Or if Tottenham is actually like being smart, like why can't we get Cuti Romero for free next season? He has to run now.
He has 2 years left on his contract, so it would be, if we were to negotiate for him next year, it would be a year left, which would be easier for us, obviously. So
Okay, it has 2 years. I thought like he has 1 year left. He has 2 years left. Fuck. Okay.
Mhm.
No wonder why Tottenham is being cocky. But yeah. Anyway, we definitely need a right footed centre back. But again, bro, like again, back to the thing. Like we need someone experienced. Guti Romero is literally on in his prime. Like it's literally the perfect thing. But again, if the asking price is around 70, I think if somehow Atleti manages it. But again, like if Guti Romero comes to Atleti, now Molina has to leave. Simple as that.
No
Make some
problem.
money. Yeah.
No problem with
Exactly.
that for me.
Exactly. I mean, like, make money out of Nahal Molina. Like, you can get Nahal Molina for what 15, 20 million. Get Cuti Romero if you can, and then you can look for other options up front, which is a midfielder. Javi Guerra, again, very cheap option. You can get him for 20 million at least. Then you have, again, a striker option. Get someone on loan. I mean, like, we've been doing this in the past season as well, where we had Musa Dembele joining us from loan, and then we had again more players joining us on loan. I mean, like
But that last one you passed by Musa Dembele.
exactly, like we have explored these options. We can, like, if you can get a like free loan, because we do need a striker up front. But again, like, let's just hope Sherlock and Alvarez like remain fit throughout the season, and
I
then
mean,
you get
Alvarez
someone on
and
loan.
Froholdt have a really, really, really good injury history. So I'm not.
Even David Hancko, like the guy has just missed 3 games.
Yeah,
The guy has
stupid.
just missed three.
He's 27 and he missed 3 games, and you've played how many?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's just. I mean, like, again, like, I'm just like, because again, the way I see the way I saw David Hansco yesterday, he wasn't fit. He was very nervous. I could see his,
Mhm.
the way he was. There was a moment where I don't know, like, he booted the ball way too up and like it went out the ground. Yeah, I could sense him. Like, he was trying to, like, like, be calm. Like, I could just see his on his face. But yeah, it's the first game. Same with Ruggeri, I would say. I could see Ruggeri's heavy leg when he clashed with someone. I could literally see it over there. The players are not 100% fit, the new signings. And the only player who impressed me was Johnny Cardoso. That's it. That's the and Thiago Almada. I would keep Thiago Almada in the second position. But the main, like, the new signing which really impressed me was Johnny Cardoso.
Yeah, I think so. I think I really liked. I think I don't mind. Almada was okay. I don't really want to. I don't want to hate on him because I don't think. Oh my god, no! Whew, I got scared there. I thought I saw Raspadori. Here we go. Like just now. But sorry. I was
We'll,
just
we'll, we'll,
scratching.
we'll, we'll talk
Still
about
on the
this as well. We're going to talk about this as well.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, go on, finish.
I liked Baena. I liked Ruggeri. Though I think he did have his flaws, and we'll come around to it. Hancko, as I said, as we said, very clearly very nervous. Hopefully, we'll get to see some of his better traits because I think both of us agree that he's really good. Cardoso was very nice, although despite the fact that he was nervous, he was very good for us. So I think, for the most part, a lot of the new signings were players that I think I'm very happy with. I I don't want to really say anything about Pubill because even though he did well, that's not where I want to see him play. So otherwise, great stuff. I think there's still a few positions I want us to really iron out, but I think we can all see what our ideal vision of the 4-4-2 is. We're not 100% sure what the ideal vision of the 3-5-2 is. I think that will come to clarity with time. So, but like as general consensus, you're happy with the new signings, or
I mean, again, it'll take time. Like, can't really like make a prediction on just one game, or definitely a preseason game as well. I can't make a prediction on that. I think this thing will take time for sure. But I was really happy with Johnny Cardos. Again, back to it. Rest, I think they need time for sure. I mean, like, Conor Gallagher is still taking time to like adjust in Atleti team. So yeah, I can expect them taking time as well. Anyway, moving on to the next part, which is again rumors. Again, I mean, this is the part where I get really frustrated.
mm,
Enzo Miller deal got hijacked by Alali. I mean, like, the guy was only 20-25 million. How could you not seal this deal? Like, literally. And like, you needed a dribbler. There you go. You have it. 20-25 million, a cheap option, young guy, French guy, can play multiple positions. No, you're trying to pay in installments, do some bullshit. This is, I thought, like, Carlos Booker was actually doing a pretty good job. He was slapping me hard due to the way I was, you know. saying about him. But no, you come up with this stupid stuff like Alali hijacked, and even for the player, I would say like how stupid you can be. Like you're literally ignoring the Europe to go to Saudi Arabia. Like, don't you have ambition, bro? Like, what the hell?
I mean, the Saudi deal. I think when you look at the after the Club World Cup, especially, and how the Saudi, like when was he? I think since Ronaldo moved to Saudi, there's been a huge exodus, right? But for the most part, a lot of players who's gone to Saudi, you go maybe 1 or 2 years, get your big money, and then you go either loaned back or you get to go back to Europe for the same price, etc. Like Gabri Vega just went to Porto, played against us. He was pretty good, had a good time. He's now a lot richer, and he's probably happy with that whole process. And now he's in a Champions League level team. Um, so I can see the allure because you're gonna be able to play with some really good players. You think he's going to the same team as Mahrez, so you're going to play with some really high level players, and then you get money, and you're still in a competitive enough league that by the time that you finish there, you can probably come back to Europe and play in a Europa League, Champions League level team again. So I guess in that sense, I could understand why the appeal is. It's just a shame because I think we had a position for him. As we saw yesterday, we clearly needed somebody in that position. Say Barrios doesn't fit, or we could even swap him in and out with Giuliano. So it's a bit of a shame. I wanted to see him here, but there's certain things. He has certain qualities that seemingly our club does not like anymore. I
And anyway, moving on. So like now we see the plan B. The plan B. The name I saw was like Giacomo Raspadori. Look, as much as I love the guy, I love Giacomo Raspadori for Napoli. I love Giacomo Raspadori for Italy.
Mhm.
Saying this, he's not the guy for Atletico de Madrid. Definitely not. You literally have Thiago Almada in that position. You have, you know, you already have Thiago Almada in that position, and then again, Julian Alvarez sort of like play as a second striker as well. Giacomo Raspadori won't be your dribbler. Like he's not the dribbler. Like what are you smoking? Giacomo Raspadori is your, you can say, a super sub, a replacement, for example, for Angel Correa. But we already have someone in that position now, which
Which
is
is
Thiago
Almada.
Almada. Exactly. It doesn't make sense now going for Giacomo Raspadori. But good thing I saw one more sentence with Giacomo Raspadori. Is not only the option, Atleti is considering other options as well. That was a bit of relief. That was a relief because again, I mean, I love the guy. I love Giacomo Raspadori. Whatever he do for Napoli, for Italy, he's a perfect guy to come in the second half, be that super sub. Sometimes he, like a start as well. He's filled with energy. It's literally the Angel Correa, I would say. If we didn't get Thiago Almada, Giacomo Raspadori was the perfect guy to replace Angel Correa. But now we already have a guy. There's no need of Giacomo Raspadori. You're literally wasting. And plus, what's with you getting guys like 5'7", 5'8"? Like we need we need bullies up front. Like go back to the Diego Costa regime. So yeah, Giacomo Raspadori, please. Hell no, please. But anyway, moving on to the next one. Again, there's a rumor that Atleti is looking for a midfielder as well because they can see without Pablo Barrios, that depth is not that good. And I'm really happy Porto, exposed us. What if Porto played a bad game and like we literally dominated? Nobody would have seen this. Our board would have been like, oh, this is working perfectly. We don't really have to sign players. So yeah, I owe this to Porto as well. To expose us. I'm happy to take the stick, to be honest, from other fans, from Real Madrid fans, Barca fans. Oh, you spent like 400 million, 200 million, and you're still, getting beaten by Porto, whatever shit. Like, yeah, fine. Like, at least our board is like, trying to make those signings like where we actually lack. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Like, thank you, thanks a lot, Porto, to be honest, for exposing us.
It was a good goal, to be fair. It's a really good goal.
Exactly. Many people are saying we should go for that midfielder as well. Froholdt, which is again the guy who
I
scored the
don't know
goal.
about
Froholdt, he had a pretty good game. Froholdt literally ran over our midfield.
that,
He's 19 as well. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
it is, but I would like if we're getting somebody, I want somebody more established. No offense to him, he played well. He played uh, much better than our midfielders every time. But I would prefer if we were getting somebody, it's somebody who is a bit more established, or at least somebody who would be more comfortable with the team, like a Javier who's Spanish and would immediately fit into the team in terms of not necessarily play style, but because of the fact that he knows several of the players already.
Let's see what happens. I mean, like, again, we have a whole month of transfer business left. Let's see what happens.
True.
Yes, there's gonna be a welcome night on the 21st as well, guys, in just like last season. So yeah, expect the fireworks. Hopefully, we have a few more players joining that welcome party. But yeah, I think. Oh wow, I didn't expect us to go until 15 minutes actually. But yeah, it went on. Anything you wanna add, Saint Keys, before we end this thing?
Um, no, I want to see what our predictions for the preseason will be as we go on to the next games. I'm interested in how we play against Newcastle, considering we're not fully matched with yet.
I see us getting a draw. Or I see us getting beaten by Newcastle as well.
See,
I mean, again, like Pablo
we're
Barca is
going
not
to
there.
England to win.
We need a midfielder. Pablo Barca is not there, and again, it's going to be the same problem. There will be lack of creativity from midfield, and then yeah, Newcastle will run our midfield. So yeah, again, it's preseason. Good. I mean, that's what preseason is for. Like, you see what's working for you, you see what's not working for you, and then you assess. It's good. I'm happy. If Newcastle exposes us, I'll be happy, to be honest. Like, they can take the win. We got exposed. Fine. Go work for it. Like, go for the things where we lack. It's a win-win. It's a win situation for us, to be honest. Like, even if we lose, it's a win for us. Take it in this way. But yeah. Anyway, guys, do let us know in the comment section what you guys thought about the preseason game against Porto, and where do you think Atletico de Madrid still lags, and like, again, how many more signings do you guys think should be there still? Like, 3, 4. Let's see what happens in the transfer market as well. Do let us know your opinions, and please like and subscribe. Help us reach 500 subscribers, which is our next goal. And thank you so much for the love as well, which you guys keep showing us. So yeah. And until then, until the Newcastle game, guys, I hope you expect some good news. And until then, Opa Atleti, we see you guys for the review of the tag game.